Getting work experience is already hard enough, but getting work experience during a pandemic, listen, I've got you. I know exactly how you'll be able to stand out and look like you've gone above and beyond. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly what work experience you need in terms of options, how long you need work experience for, and exactly how to get work experience. Literally everything. So let's get into it. So, what work experience do you need? According to the GDC and most universities, you'll need a minimum of 2 weeks of work experience. Now, I know that 2 weeks is the minimum threshold for the work experience that you need, but most other students and applicants will be doing way more than this. Like, I know that a lot of people did up to a year voluntary in a care home and stuff like that in similar settings, so you really do want to be aspiring for a lot more than 2 weeks. Although, as I'll talk in a second, it's a lot easier than you think. So, there are mainly 2 types of work experience that they're looking for. One is people-based interaction work experiences, where you could be literally doing anything from working at a cashier at Starbucks to patient-orientated care, volunteering at a care home or something like that, feeding the homeless, doing all of those kind of things. Literally could be anything, and you can probably say that it's even working at a call center is really patient-oriented. And then you have the second type of work experience, which is dental-related. So this is more shadowing a max back surgeon at a hospital, and you'd be seeing reconstructive procedures and trauma patients and stuff like that, and that's really interesting. Or even just shadowing your normal dentist. That's really useful because a lot of universities are looking for a realistic understanding of what dentistry is. And I very much agree with that. Obviously dentistry is a very long career. A lot of people have an idea of dentistry, of what it is in their head, and it's a lot different to that. So it's a very repetitive job in some ways. It's really important to have a realistic understanding of what your career is going to be for essentially 10 years. So yeah, I talk about this in another video as well, but I think being a dental nurse is a very good work experience to get because one, you're getting exposed to the clinical setting. You're understanding what these different procedures are and what tactics and techniques they are using. And second of all, you get involved in the day-to-day work as a dentist. You really understand what it's like to be a clinician, the teamwork that's involved. And the third reason that you would do dental nursing is because of the money, obviously. I know that as a student, a lot of people would be struggling, university is expensive. So yeah, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get work experience, you get to put this on your work experience personal statement and talk about it in your interviews, but you also get paid for it, so kind of the best of both. So if you're looking for online or virtual work experience, I'll go into that in a second, but if you're applying for in-person hospital placements or shadowing a dentist in a dental practice, then there are some things that you can do. What you usually do is you'd write a cover letter and it would explain who you are, why you want the work experience, what benefit it would be to you, etc, and then you'd send it into your dental practice. Or I know that hospital placements usually they have a system within the NHS or at your specific hospital they'll basically put you through and you'll be able to ask for work experience like that. So yeah, another thing that is so valuable is having connections. So ask everyone that you know, ask anyone that has a dental aunt or someone in the family, ask your college if they have any links to hospital placements. I know that mine had one, but there's only 3 slots between medical and dental applicants for hospital shadowing. So yeah, it's really important to ask everybody that you know. Also, even ask your dentist, hopefully they know someone that knows someone and that can get you work experience, because it really pays to have the strings. And a lot of the people that I know mainly got their max back surgery work experience because they know people and that kind of pays. So obviously work experience in person is key. It is the best thing that you can do because you will have so much more hands-on experience. But if you can't get those things, especially in coronavirus, I understand, here are some things that you can talk about in your personal statement and interviews, and you can talk about as work experience. So one of the things you can do are virtual work experience courses. Now, a lot of dentists and dental professionals are unable to host students to do that work experience. So a lot of them have courses online now that walk you through the different things in their dental clinic, maybe even take you a tour of the dental clinic, show you what different procedures they'll be doing, what's important to be as a dentist, all of those things are involved. And a lot of them are free, some of them are not. It's really up to you. I'll give you about 6 options that I found that were really good. The first one is Introduction to Dental Medicine. So this is a course and I'll link it up here and I'll show you. The second one is iwanttobeadentist.com, and this is specifically for people interested in dentistry and strengthening your application, because I think you get a certificate and stuff like that, which is really good because you'll be able to bring that into your interviews and stuff and really talk about it, and it shows you're not just lying about some random course that you don't learn. And these virtual work experience courses are very different to just courses online, and I'll talk more about those different options later. But the third one is eintegrity.org, and that is learning about dentistry. So that's a lot of the foundations, what it's like to be a dentist, and this is probably more for advanced dentists, you know, people who already know what they're doing, but it is an option if you're running out of options. Another one I found was dominichassaltraining.co.uk. Don't know how legit this is, but it sounds pretty cool. And the fifth one is a webinar on YouTube, and I'll show it over here, and that is completely free. So that may be something that you wouldn't mind listening to in the background, pick up some knowledge, and then you can also talk about these things in your interviews and write it in your personal statement. So now a lot of universities are really recommending that you do some MOOCs during coronavirus, because you're unable to go out, and they know that, but you know, to gain more of an appreciation for dentistry as a career, these things are really important, you know, educate yourself. So these stand for Massive Open Online Courses, and I know that some universities host these. I know that Sheffield has had one since way before coronavirus. It was called Discover Dentistry, and I talk about in one of my other videos how I did this course. And I think I remember that Sheffield's application is more interview heavy. I remember doing this course, so it's mostly like history of dentistry and stuff like that, and then there are a few quizzes at the end, and then I think I paid £30 for a certificate, and the course was free. I took that into my interview, and that went really well because, you know, they could see that I've obviously researched, being dedicated to learn about dentistry, and I've obviously seen and read about their university and stuff like that. So yeah, it just really worked out. So yeah, Discover Dentistry is a great course, especially if you are applying to Sheffield, and even if you're not. So I'll have that linked in the description if you're interested in taking that course, which is completely free. So I did do some digging, and I did find out that the Dental Schools Council did say that your application will not be negatively impacted by not having work experience due to the coronavirus crisis. However, I highly recommend that you do things like the MOOCs and virtual work experiences, YouTube webinars, and doing these things like hands-on at home, as many things as you can. I know you can order kits, do like fake composites and stuff like that. So that's very, very useful, because guarantee you your other applicants will be doing the same thing, and you will be competing against them for a place for dentistry at university. So yeah, really do whatever you can to stack the odds in your favor and to build up your application. One thing that the Dental School Council did say that they would appreciate and recommend is you having a realistic understanding of dentistry as a career. And now this is something that is seen all over from even before coronavirus. Like, it is something why they want you to do work experience, so you understand how it is like as a career. I talk about this a lot, how a lot of people have this conception in their head of how dentistry is going to be like. A lot of money, less work, 9 to 5, all of that stuff, but it's very different. It's very taxing, it's very patient orientated, and it's a lot of different things that you wouldn't realize unless you do work experience. So I really recommend that you try these different things, or if you can't do this, you know, reach out to somebody who is a dentist, or reach out to somebody who is a dental student who understands this better than you do. Ask them a few questions, see what is it like to be a clinician, having that patient-patient contact, doing all of those things. Like, ask them like all the questions, what are the challenges, what's rewarding about it, and this will only add to the things that you can talk about in your interview. So those were the work experiences that you can do from home, if that is the only thing that you can do. But if you can get in-person work experience, that's even better. And here are some examples. You can shadow at your general practice. You can shadow in a hospital setting like MaxFax or Ortho, something like that. You can do work experience in a research lab, as a dental technician lab. You can do private dentistry, which is really important because one of your questions might be public versus private and your opinions on that, and you know, it's a whole debate. And then you can also obviously do dental nursing. Back when I was applying, I've talked about this in my other video, but there is a overseas programs, things like gap medics. You can shadow dentists and get involved in like clinics abroad, and you know, some of them even let you do things, which is really interesting. So you know, this would really add to your portfolio. Obviously right now I don't know how realistic that would be to go abroad in coronavirus, but it's really, really rewarding because you get to see people from all walks of life, them getting treatment and seeing what a difference that is outside of the NHS setting. However, I do know that the one I went to, which was Gap Medics, is now not doing dentists anymore, but I do know that there are some other ones, and I'll have them come up on the screen right now. So one that I found online was Pre-Med Projects, and there are probably others around as well that you just have to look for. And yeah, other work experience that isn't dentally involved include things like volunteering at a care home or delivering prescriptions to the vulnerable in COVID and stuff like that. And anything where you're developing your skills and you're having people interactions is really important. And this is another thing that you can also draw upon when you're doing your why dentistry not medicine interview question, because you'd see that you've seen both the best of both worlds. You could say that some things towards dentistry is more attractive, like the more creative aspect and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really important to do both types of work experience, and I feel like the people-based work experience you can do for longer, and that will look better on your work experience. I mean, your personal statement. So yeah, what do universities expect in terms of work experience? Now, a lot of universities do understand the predicament that we're in. Like, it is a very hard time to get work experience. However, they do suggest that you go for these e-learning opportunities, specifically MOOCs, as well as develop your skills to become a better clinician or better person. So this is through extracurricular activities, or getting a job or hobbies, whatever it is, and also that they develop a realistic understanding of what a dentist or clinician's life is like. And so, like I said before, reaching out to people on social media and really anyone. So yeah, I think those are the things that are really important, and don't stress. Like, I understand it's really hard to get work experience at the moment, but trust that it will be enough. Trust that the rest of your application is strong enough and that you will get into dentistry. But a lot of people are in the same place at the moment, so you have to remember that. And I've also seen a lot of people talk about how they are planning and preparing for work experience in the future, so saying that they've booked work experience for whenever things open up and stuff like that, and they've sent the relevant emails and stuff. And so that is something that you could talk about, how you are going to pursue work experience after things start opening up a bit more. That is something that you can talk about in your interviews as well. But yeah, that's all from me. If you want to check out more videos like this one, you can check out my channel and subscribe down below so you never miss a video again. I have this video over here, which is every single dentistry interview question that you could ever think of, ever, so you're prepared. Make sure you watch this one. And I also have this video over here, which is going through example interview questions and model answers, so you know how to answer your interview questions. So yeah, I wish you all the best, and I'll see you later. Bye.